no ensure schoolboy and omo ma discount enti wo a wo schoolboy ho atamo e wo kill and omo e wa selfitem ho job to be omo discount and e wo schoolboy ho enti so schoolboy and ho and e so de woni kire ko schoolboy ho mekọ aba meba be titi nkomo bebre because and your sponsors and eba be di omo nkomo bebre kwame
and
bramu kakre
me da se and akwa Saturday die a lot of games and ebeko so ewo ngofo cruise so yebedi nkomo ewo England yebeko Spain leagues ahodo ni nyina na yebetimi akọ na chese de wo bia na yetimi ede aba ken mamen sha asem free ebibrem ha se nyame ya adoma African Cup of Nations ne sha ase megitu mu se Ghana yanko binti nipa dodo na tension eni so na mum se oba Africa na wo hwe football yebo a competition a cup for organize a eye kese pa no African Cup of Nations no enti se be sha ase nyame ya adoma china wo se etimi eka ho nsem kakra personally I am ya Ghana unqualified because ken sanka yade se Ghana for ye kobia anka wo nsa attention no ewo ho by say na Ghana yentimi unqualified no ase nipa dodo na emfolo se we Egypt we Cameroon free ho team a waje tournament ne kese pa na Ghana by ye ni ho bi which very sad adia ba kwa mehu ni ye say it seems say Morocco for no oma prepare omo hu pa yi se wo hwe stadium ahodo omo de organize sa tournament we facilities this time around ye bon stadium no ye bob akoba nko 9 and ye bebo games no wo say cities ana wo hwe facilities no hotels ahodo accommodation transportation say Morocco for no well prepared wo say ye bo Morocco for no abaso nyame ya adoma na Morocco ana Comoros ana ebo opening game no enkofo we bre expect Morocco say tournament we wo so mutimi gye said ye Ghana ye African Cup of Nations ni bi a chepa no Morocco for maje ba akopɛ 1976 since 1976 Morocco for GB and Morocco for hu omo say omo hwe omo players e kuro omo che team e kuro omo form e kuro omo a was a tournament we dey omo hosti ne dey wo so mutimi ewini I think say teams omo nyina akwa akopie mo Morocco no ye we show omo all the best by no kuro omo ye say o ye Ghana ni na wo hwe African Cup of Nations ni bia ne hwe be ya because they nyina expect say Ghana betima qualify so nyame adoma china na ken African Cup of Nations ne sha ase a ye benya abotre ni ahwe games ahodo ni nyina na ebetima kwaso no mimi wogidie say Morocco for ebema ye 9th tournament the last time a boy in Ivory Coast for who see ne kama yenya tournament ahun say amononefo ni nyina no uko Englander TV stations ni nyina no mbrofo ni nyina African Cup of Nations no wasem and this time around I'm hoping say Morocco for so be a fine tournament and nam bi akoye e the African Cup of Nations at the end Africa for and ye nyina ye beti ye nim but there ya ne say Ghana ye mbobi mamenko wiem e was Spain Real Madrid etnefie against Sevilla this season samecheke Sevilla modembo ne first 16 games na me dey to last season I think Sevilla this season o ma shase ye me dey to last season based on number of points o ma accumulated so far enti se o ye Real Madrid na o kwa akohia Sevilla enye Sevilla wa kwa akohia ne last season Sevilla this time around o ma pick your points na dodo na better than last season and idea ba kwa man notice about Sevilla team ni say this time around omo 5 back na omo bono 3 midfielders and 2 forwards no se ukohia Sevilla boboku ni pe omo pe attacking full backs no enti omo right back omo left back and also omo right wing back left wing back no ebe ko menim bebre Camona ana Osu ne Camona ana airbo Sevilla for right back and left back respectively sa 2 players ne be ko menim na omakoka omo 2 top no ho Isaac Romero and Abrante Fence Gerrard na time bi omenya numbers in miensa no one Abrante Fence Jordan and Jibril so as so ebe ko nanim enti sa players ni nyina ko manim a omunya numbers edit opponent no enya de ba ko amehu team Fence Sevilla say omoye enti this time around team bi a we share Sevilla this season bia no Sevilla team improve over the final third Sevilla enya numbers with the final third and omutimi produce goals omo pen because this time around omo ball na ye different from last season na last season omo nya numbers no omo nya players ne so betima omo sa numbers no any goals omo pen no by this time around ye share season ase no Sevilla for air attack here numbers no omo nya fullbacks mienu air join ne ekoka two forwards ne ho omo midfielders miensa no mienu ese ko manim no ema Sevilla for numbers need to give them some numbers ne be mo goals no mo require no enti ye game back a ade back a was Real Madrid for you very careful how won believe gap in between omo defensive line se me ma o typical example a Sevilla ne Barcelona ade a Sevilla for the share Barcelona pan ye say Barcelona for mo gaps in between omo defensive line and a team friend says Sevilla for 8 years exploited sa gaps no and omo de punish Barcelona and this time around so we Real Madrid now we kwa kushia Sevilla and this yes ade no so we check 20 clubs omo compete our La Liga this season omo mama goals do pan Sevilla to 6 and so we check Sevilla this season omo improve our the final third omo improve in terms of goal scoring and ade be here Real Madrid will game win pan say on bet me defend as unit and so what check Real Madrid Madrid last 3 games or consider 2 against City or consider back against Alaves and a Copa del Rey was consider 2 and Madrid last 3 games were consider 5 goals which are bad a Chelsea Real Madrid the children say in Tokyo de daho our teams never so a punish Real Madrid team no most especially say on defensive setup almost say lose key players be away chiro and to say Real Madrid bet me as to Sevilla from not scoring I just a Real Madrid full defender as unit Sir Real Madrid team no agile defensive work in the commercial of one corner. Pressure ebaba Real Madrid for back line so pressure koto abeye saves ni bi de but ni tiranye ya na atena akwa koto. Enti Real Madrid for so mutimi defend as unit. Sir Real Madrid for timi defend as a unit. Real Madrid for betimi control Sevilla team no because Sevilla for no in as much as omutimi she goals no omo consider team bia we share Sevilla wa share Sevilla bia no Sevilla eyebo boku a se omo back line no omo pressure constant pressure omuye a lot of errors omuye a lot of fouls that's the reason why 20 clubs no omo a consider penalties kese pan Sevilla for to so mienu omo tie consider penalties se u pe team why a lot of fouls e wala liga ni ma Sevilla enti Sevilla team no omanim ho na ehu ba chire ho no enye hu enti wo se Rodrigo Vinicius Junior ne Mbappe mo omo ti make sure say ombema Sevilla backline constant pressure sa constant pressure ne kwa enyem wan pokra say Real Madrid benya penalty see ye bo game na Real Madrid nya penalty ni say you obi an because Sevilla for defense no omo that constant pressure na time bia no ombe commit a lot of fouls around omo box and omo timi commit a lot of fouls inside omo box a resulting into penalties enti ade ba ko a e na ebe kodi ama Real Madrid dey say Madrid forward line e betima ma Sevilla constant pressure meaning by Sevilla for enfa ho ni omo form ikro omo enra omo bisa Alonso say record da ho say Sevilla 17 years ni on be share Real Madrid e Real Madrid fie no e be say ana Sevilla e bo boko ba kwa oba Real Madrid fie on time winning matches e Real Madrid fie the last time we win bi no was way back 2008 ente ye bo boko almost struggle e Bernabeu almost struggle playing at Real Madrid at home enti ade ba ko e be ko advantage for Real Madrid ni say Real Madrid esabo ofie no emfa hu ni players Alonso be yusu Real Madrid betima take this advantage no metima nya the 3 maximum points a game ba ko me expect a win for Real Madrid making sure say omun defend as unit at the same time omo ma Sevilla for no e back line pressure Madrid betima nya results no mo pe no Villarreal at nefie against Barcelona difficult game for both sides La Liga as it stands now Barcelona di kan team your friend said Real Madrid tosu mienu at the same time Villarreal and tosu miensa and it's a what checking number of games I have so far our the Spanish Premier La Liga now what check Villarreal position untimi nko underrate omo nyebo boku a omo da 17th omo da 16th and omo da 15th omo da 3rd on the league log e chese omo modern bono eso ani pa enti Barcelona okwa kwhia Villarreal no enye team abeka se F4 again the entire 20 clubs are more competed this season in La Liga. Team are unconsidered goals kesiye pan ye Villarreal. Oma consider 13 goals. Oma na inconsidered goals kesiye. So defensively, omo ye sound. The best defensive setup out of the La Liga this season currently a team a friend is Villarreal. And Villarreal na Barcelona kwa kushia no. Omo ye team a omo team defend very well. Then again, omo feel one this season omo lose match. Yes, La Liga na se no Villarreal 8 games e wo fie we win 7 we draw 1 enti venue na Barcelona ekɔ no enye venue a for say o kwa akɔpeke 3 maximum points and omu ra game nim no omu last 7 games ni nyina no omu lose bi enti Villarreal for form no omu say ba be share Barcelona no eye form anu edin enti say uye Barcelona the first thing you need to know say yenko underrated team friend say Villarreal because omu of form Marcelinho Garcia Tora a onu ni coach edema Villarreal bobuku no ken waye adwuma because which position any points are waiting me accumulated so far edema Villarreal team na e che adwuma Marcelinho Garcia Tora aye. So the big question here say edi na Villarreal for eye ni year this season omo that third omo lose game wo fie omo consider goals kese wo La Liga nim. The first thing I will notice wo Villarreal team here say Marcelinho Garcia Tora ebo a compact 4-4-2 flat 4 at the back flat 4 in the midfield now we just players 2 ewe nim ho the oye ni say Nicolas Pepe and Alberto be operate on the right side Alberto on the left side. So 2 players no omo operate here omo ye hybrid players ye can obi or ye hybrid player ye bo game na or combine 2 or more roles on the field and to time ya na Villarreal for Asia Kanya Nicolas Pepe no operate as a left midfielder and as a right midfielder. Alberto Nususu operate as a right midfielder and as a left midfielder. At the same time, Omanesa occupied a wing play no. And it's 2 players no. Omu defend here. Ombeka 2 central midfielders no my flat 4. But mu attack here. Omu sa ko menim ekoka 2 players omu lead the attack no. Eya Jose Perez and Georges. And it's a my friends Villarreal. The first thing you may notice omu team ni say omu was defensive solidity ni bi. That's the reason why so far omu consider 13 goals e La Liga nim. And it's defensive solidity no. Omu prioritize compactness, high press and organized block. And to say ube bi omu team ni dene. And to say ukosia Villarreal team na time bia on ne ba o make sure say on limit 2 spaces. And to adia Barcelona be here wo game nim pa na say Barca team no on be use attacking dynamism. Attacking dynamism Barcelona for be use ni say omu kra ball na o say speed ebem. Ball movement no quick. And I was omu be unpredictable untimi predict Barcelona for attack no. Eni ade team Villarreal team no. Enti team bia wetimi age 3 points every Villarreal bia no. Sa team ni use attacking dynamism. Attacking dynamism no Villarreal for untimi predict omo. And no attacking channel no movement ni quick. Ball circulation ni quick. Eni ade Barcelona be here. But the good news for Barcelona ni say recently Barcelona no munya results no. Barcelona so use attacking dynamism ni bi. Enti aba bisi super pepe di ama Barcelona team ni say o metima kwa ko bie team e friend Villarreal team nim no metima nya that spaces no the likes of Lamine Yamal mo Rashford mo enko o metima koye saade no e de etia Villarreal team no Barca team koye saade na o metima nya the needed space o metima nya chances no mo de beto atena ade ba kwa about Villarreal team ni say o mo use a rapid defense to attack football ye ka so be use rapid defense to attack a team or rely a lot on counter attack. And to winning ball now from defensive transition now kwa attacking transition onjina ball ne so nche enti La Liga matches do ayabo so far no o pe team a wache goals kese pa from counter attacker Real Madrid the next club e Villarreal o yi Real Madrid free wa team a when use counter e dia she goals kese pa e Villarreal and me no ka say Barcelona so highline no ye nyina enim say e ha Barcelona for no so the only thing about Mambo Barcelona na say how we metimi improve e wo mo pressing how are you so mun lose boss no e betima mo control game ne bebre no e de etia Villarreal team no by so mun lose boss ne bebre na omo pressing game number Villarreal for betima use counter no e de apanachi team my friend say e Barcelona but dear ba kwa about Barcelona eno so minim Villarreal for enya form said day omo tine fie share Barcelona for sa da Villarreal for so Villarreal for omutiminya form said they obi expect you say omutina fie abo against Barcelona no time bia no na obo nsa kwa akojiegu Villarreal for team ewo hoi omuntimi team omu crash skillful players and this season open match ba kopa Vinicius Junior Gini dimpa na ye Real Madrid against Villarreal sa match no odi Gini din Mbappe di Gini din because Villarreal for defense no entimi players omu skillful enti enye mo wan say sa game no say Lamine Yamal dominating game na enyem because omu kwa koshia Villarreal side a Villarreal ekoshia team a omu players omu skillful na omu ha sa Villarreal setup no e game ba kwa based on the mehu between Barcelona and Villarreal games e wo Villarreal ankasa home no bibia e favor Barcelona say onko sa game nim enko nkolusu Newcastle etne fie abo against Chelsea Newcastle for a slow start this season. But what check on my last 5 games now? Gradually Newcastle for an epic until recently omu lose against Sunderland. Now a Newcastle for us say omo pick omo points do na omo peno. And omo abeshia Chelsea. Venue back say Chelsea call Brepano St James Park. Chelsea call I had been some bit my pick the maximum points since 2021. Anytime be a Chelsea because St James Park biano omo 3 points now omo peno. Ente ye venue back e den the my friend say Chelsea. By Chelsea for no GDA say Nyame aduma ne game ne di obetima kopeke 3 points ni because this season adia ba kwa Chelsea yes strong pan e your away games. Chelsea to me pick more points away. And the clubs who compete in our Premier League, you Crystal Palace are picking more points away. The next club Chelsea. Chelsea to me picking more points away. And my Chelsea for us confidence and they say, Omuko St James Park no, on bet ma kopeke sa 3 maximum points no. By kid, adia ba kwa be Newcastle no. Injury situation, most especially on my back line. Trippier out because when you're injury. Livramento, Esusu Epra, Dan Ben Epra. These are key guys. So much in a Newcastle for Omu contribution to Newcastle team no was through. How are our 2 fullbacks never join the attack? How are Dan Ben move my pinball with him no? Some players when you need a free man, a big play advantage at the Chelsea. But will be what me analyze Newcastle team Nibiano. Basically. Omo team no is about omo midfield and omo final third and when they omo strength. So person stop Newcastle team now. The first department I was breaking no omo midfield. Sandro Tonali, Bruno Guimaraes, and Joe Lintimo. Sa players me and some be chance here dey Newcastle won finfi no. Omo and the protect your back line. Omo and the stop opponent ne say ontimi attack. Omo and the control game no. Omo na ye distribution no. And to say players me and son etimi ehun game this one affecting Newcastle defensively, affecting Newcastle offensively. And to the first department at Chelsea targeting no the midfield. Say Chelsea to me cost stop Newcastle for midfield. Say Kopama ba Enzo Fernandez, Caicedo mo. Sa Chelsea midfielders me and son etimi cost stop Newcastle for midfielders now. Chelsea a real half because every single clubber was stopping Newcastle biano. The first department to stop no the midfield. The next department, another position I best upon the wings. Newcastle for Bobona, or person the right back, the left back, ebe join the attack. Says our players from the full back area, join the attacker. And when they be free or moving wingers, say Harvey Benz nebebo, Anthony Gordon nebebo, Ilanga nebebo, no more moving inside, no more your crosses, no, and they are coming Voltemalda. And to say, oh, Kosia Newcastle, who break your moment food. Now stop your fullbacks, they say, Omun to me join the attack now. Wait me a break your team, no. So me expect Ganacho. And a Pedro Neto so mbeshasiye because a Ganacho ni Pedro Neto shasiye na omu se omu pini Newcastle for ni fullbacks na limitation of forward movement ebema time bi an entimi man Newcastle for no enkoye omu crosses na omu peno enfan koma Voltemada enti game ba kwa Chelsea etimi ko stop Newcastle omu midfield ene omu wing play na Chelsea ebetimi akonya results omu pe maka many times say Chelsea any problem in terms of creating chances say omo attack and also omo goals. The only problem na Chelsea one year say without the ball omo timi lose omo structure. So how are Chelsea be maintaining omo structure most especially the first 20 minutes because Obioko St James Park be Newcastle for first 10-15 minutes. How our intensity is here no utimi contain this intensity no now making sure say ube cooling your man down ube timako akofa the needed results are open. So Chelsea here say ube breaking Newcastle midfield no stop your moving play no Chelsea be timako akonya results no open no Spurs et ne fie omuni leave up with him no Martina say because of Mohamed Kudus analyze Spurs bobo koni bebre Yebeshe season asia James Maddison prior no affected Spurs team no entiema Thomas Frank na approach exercise so from match day 1 ebesine adia Spurs for rely so much on omo wing play omo use natural wingers ni bebre say omo use wingers omo de ball be wakoto wings no my cross no but omo exploit wide areas and that's the reason why omo attack for Mohamed Kudus side or the right side. But who could see Spurs now best to space before say omo wing play ni empty and click no e was say break your finfin. Some midfield there's no more space in finfin no. Omo nye controllers. Omo nye tempo setters. Omunye deep line playmakers are unmeditated playing from deep. Spurs for midfielders near say obeyere wajibo. Oje bo na no opportunity a or she baby a Brennan Johnson eda or she baby a Abrante Fence Kudus eda into opportunity a oje bo na no or so the ball about to Kudus on the right side and as Brendan Johnson on the left side. And it's a oh ma Spurs for wingers ne ehun so omo wing playing so a close your mo mfimfin ho. And then na me shase te ho say matches dodo as Spurs elusu ni nyina no typical example. Kosho mo ne Arsenal break your mo mfimfin ho ebereche eze Zubimendi and Declan Rice. And Spurs midfield no ain't me and click sa game ni Spurs ehun so. Spurs ekoshi at Chelsea. That was the game man nipa dodo na ball Malo Gusto abaso because Enzo Maresca de Malo Gusto be same mfimfin ho. Ono Enzo Fernandez and Caicedo. Spurs wingers no ehun so. Again, omu koshi at Aston Villa. Kwahwe kwan a Morgan Rogers, Kamara and Onana e break his Spurs for midfield no. Enti again back wa ken say okotwe Liverpool for lineup no. Now won say slot e use a lot of midfielders will give ma emane nyonwama. Minim say Sobosla be 100% fit there. But a likely say obetimabo. Abrante friend say Florian Wirtz, Gravenberch, Obebo Curtis Jones, no abo McAllister. Because obe here numbers in the midfield. On say Spurs ebe lusu sa because of AFCON. Enti say ultimate break Spurs for midfielders now. Distribution name come from Mohamed Kudus. I just say Mohamed Kudus eba nechi bejebo. I just say Brendan Johnson eba nechi bejebo. So to stop Thomas Frank a wing play no breaking the midfield na dominate. Say Liverpool for me break sadie na. Liverpool for betima konyo good opportunity so many results no. Recently Iketike asha say the confidence ni say grow or bangi in the goals. So adia Liverpool yani say stop Spurs midfielders no. Omo ye midfielders are ye free bibi say D2. D2 ni say omo destroy no ma distribute. Omu nye controllers, omu nye creators. Obe destroy no wa distribute the akoma Kudus mo. And to you omu free game ni ma distribution nko. Adia Liverpool here will game ni no. My last match a me hwe no Aston Villa and Manchester United. Currently, based on points are obi accumulating no, evidence ni clear say Aston Villa ya dey say Manchester United. Because Aston Villa picking more points. I say team my friends say Manchester United, which a fact untimi nice adie no. But again, adie ba ko ye me won pa wo football mu ken. Football na nka sentini e ka say untimi mfa won sense obu so predict. Aston Villa nya form say den untimi Manchester. Madrid sa adie ne ho a. If it is say Unai Emery be fa Aston Villa bobuko no. Wa pick your mama mo enya form bom ko sia Manchester United a. Manchester timi stop you. Manchester timi nya results on mo pe no. So again back on paper, Aston Villa will form by about the mental aspect. Manchester United was through that psychological aspect of the game, because Manchester United, irrespective of omo form, omo kosia Villa phobia na no metimi stop you. By baby am through edema Manchester United, players omo messy. Et dikai Manchester chiro. Obeche player only the attack in the Aston Villa Oli Watkins. Adia Oli Watkins pepani say. Obey you soon the upper body strength no. Say I'm battle with sa high boss no. Manchester United me say Harry Maguire and a delete. A home is kakra de Manchester United. Okay. Delete Manchester United backline in on the form. We pray. Open Manchester United player back in terms of area superiority or Osra. Harry Maguire. Only game him. A home is the Manchester United. The Atoswo Amad Diallo Imbuemu Mazuari. Almost so AFCON.
I say, where the Emery Aston Villa.
And he say Aston Villa midfield no, Onana available. We say likely say Manchester be use Kobe Menu and Bruno Fernandes. Onana available. Tielemans available. And Kamara. And the Aston Villa for no so be energy. And any idea through on paper there to be honest. Villa for no game na see as favorite. But Manchester United no ko si o ma minim be o kunya energy ni free. Okay. But on paper, the Aston Villa for now is
Aston Villa United game no. And what you come Edison bra. Nana Kwame Jele you come kakra de fa Kobe Menu. Ono so no. One can ho kakra. So one say yemfa say obi atan. Na yema 2 minutes oba ogian wa ye born yi na bia kama. Aso oba do obi aboya bi no.
O de bia born yi Mr. The only game season they won't say Kobe disappoints here. Man, you brings big game.
Say no, so the man is starting.
Oh, that's a sad game. No be a she.
Auntie so be a she no so hwia. Na just a manager no woman ahode. So now no unia ketwe. Unia ya so unia onya ya okay can some coach. Well, not just a woman how can some chabusu for so many di coach na tem. There's a coach need to win again men there against Aston Villa. Test you.
Oh, na stop mo Ugati. E mani ko yen hwehwe ni mu.
Omo wan.
Say you got in a replace Casemiro na.
Oh, that way there's so much could be.
Oh,
No,
he's playing against one of the best teams and control under the bus and the Case wasa. Because say Casemiro anywhere got in airborne.
What's the son?
Bruno niwa and your Kobe in airborne. Into don't change your mind. Insist on and Mitie Amorim. No, me would dreamy say he was emotional, but close to 3 minutes and all round say players ni bi wa the food entitled. Say legends ni bi wa ho abubetu kwada na for say so onya ball ni bi mu a onyere no ho ball. You are telling those cases say coach impewasem fi club di buko utim say eyaniema ha coach no. He was very very emotional all cast handsome and some day 50-50. Say and some of the things were it makes a lot of sense to say Pep Guardiola on drop Pierre Kwada and Manchester City Emma Kwada ni go post the picture and fan to the social media so indirectly attacking the coach Osro say yet way na ebia Hans Flick a drop a player na player be ebia Rooney Bashi will go post bibia indirectly or attack coach Osro on yes sir. But at Manchester United, the case will do that because they have the backing of the legends. It is our culture, no, our player power, no. Coach the person tame down. It makes a lot of sense to me. But as some no, uchremha efa. My bottom line is say, coach no all you fair to Kobe Menu ana. Because the Kobe Menu should stay. I'm fighting for the position. Okay, fine. So training here or training grounds are over fair. At the amount I'm an abo ni biana.
I didn't know about Aston Villa.
Debbie. So about Kobe, Bruno Fernandes, Aston Villa for me cheer for midfield and also. Who you are the Kwakwadano. Say Bruno Asanama 8 no Ken. Defensively. Oh bro, Manchester United bro. Because see Bruno, all this while, Wabobo, you're profiling or as a number 10 or concentrating more of the attacking. How do I attack? How do I move into space? The concentration, the first thoughts are the attacking instinct. Uka Sonkobo number 8 occasionally will be defended the above, but series of examples I can give you are Ubon say, Obi position as a number 8 to cry a problem, and you're not form swore. But the coach is trying to force him to play there. It is also Kobe defensively. Or ye wiki kakra ube trouble under the bus. Medie Kobe no on one can fan of one dream. The other conversation said coach in person cuts a player power no. That one I also agree. But only Kobe need the emfa. Dear Tosubio says wiki mu me who pass issues our clubs some of the clubs want to tame some of the stories and as slots any Muhammad Salah talk on it is quite obvious to say me oman can be sinipo but club no in fact they want to manage the story and boko sa dear Tosubio it is also true say Enzo Maresca any Chelsea sporting directors ntokwano ye na eno kradie details are eba Ken mami first our story new Chelsea ni Newcastle game no na ye monko kakra. The last time I know Di Maresca come on, me catch her say Chelsea for a meeting be normally me use the word debriefing. Say more of a debriefing meetings bia normally because your pon game bia no a was a coach in the church room actually sporting directors tactics our boy the entire yes I know almost so ato questions amana no now normally say Gabali on a chair meeting no me no this ankomo no na eno na ne stories say what England confirm a story a 3 days ago say meetings ni mu bi no ena this antokwa ne bae na meeting ni ko si wa Atlanta Chelsea versus Atlanta game no I share Chelsea by 2-1. It was a game at Chelsea as a first and you call by Chelsea needed to make some substitutions on my Fofana ebe Trevor Chalobah because Chalobah no the yellow card no throw say Chalobah be the red card game no air cost no Fofana prior emo the toss na dara be you buy nemom changer sporting directors no susu say ema Chelsea lose ya omu kombisa 17 tokwa na buy ye Malo goes to change no Samunya na mobeka ya oyi Enzo de free me no na exteva ne attacking players e wo ho but odi goes to mo right back eba game ni mu ebe ball midfield and among for questions say why don't you put a champion as a center back now Malo goes to enko nechi tosina da bia you krana for so bia ni so south ne beba so now the exteva wa ba but rather the coaches made bad substitution into meeting Arsenal and it's one of the sporting directors Ebisa coaches a catch o substitution in a man team lusuye now Ken this is where I want to ask questions. Me sure say this is the first time sporting directors now are question Enzo Maresca substitutions because the briefing CD obia trenagin enti me koba se meeting na every time your coach no the obeka no be sorry ako they will ask him questions he will answer they will disagree. These are normal things that happens in a meeting. Into question of baby say, dear pa ne course question obisa ne say Emma and Emma Enzo Maresca bufu yakin. Yes, omo abonte no omuti dedeu. Iti on a normal meeting, then ebesia ebema Enzo Maresca a flex say aye gidi obi acha na adwen wo hosa because this is not the first time they are meeting. And also say ekwanya nipa krono fa so ebisa Maresca no na anya ne de nempo sa anya ne da ebetimi akọ to the extent say ebufuo beba amakasa na akosoro ana but what the questions na me bisa na se na ni nyina boils down to the point to say the last this month and obey story say the last this month just inform penny for ni be say Maresca no subaya sesa okoje club world cup crab by crampodi asaya
so na mano wa mama na betiso
say
onam kobam wa aso timi be say okra ho na fa wadwuma o ba ha be den
oh top coach yes it was ni subaya sesa inti ano na ma omo so enwu say no aso aye pompous oje club world cup buy no onwu so a big coach omo so say wo ye hwan u Leicester City ene ye ne ama o platform ene wa ba ye dwuma inti say the posture of meeting last year obia posture o meeting na say ebe ye boko Enzo meni mpanyifo na ekasa na no be ye boko but say Enzo onye boko za ene din tokwa ne eba no now back to yesterday's press conference. She had a series of events. Press conference, now central for the obvious questions they were going to ask the coach. Hey, Manchester City link, because they no was so a cracher in Tokwana AC before. Mr. coaching also only the essence of the our contract with Chelsea. Now, or can somebody wow, when you video, full video national. Enzo made the point to be say, Obisak or say on an warren and say, why the leak is information? And then later on,
then Central 40.
Then Central 40 says, I say, or no, become Manchester City. Obisak a question. Inti questions na Barca the last part into which video no. Century Baku sounds to be sad and say or refer to Sassam no. Okay, say and you say carbon to who say wine a kaye. I want to answer the Yano. Now, from Mariska's entourage on point of view, no, almost to say Benifono they are preparing grounds to sack him.
Because
Enzo the fans backing. Inti any Enzo no kranwa most so Man City for din komo. Because almost you worry information why did they bab one thing at this time.
But maybe only nenya adwen say obe family for Leicester City, right? Leicester now be family for me fan say a club like Chelsea no akofa championship coach and now about Premier League. On man's our platform and on demand at that time. On near my person oba Obebabe. One of them, yes, say, Obo game, we are. Sa technical meeting, as on a sample for a what's that? Abaye, BBI, come on your way. After 6 months, I achieve so much. You ever said the target grow? What trying to target? Then also feel is okay, some may ban on my platform. Na me small coach, na mo ntimi nti, na mo betre men kakra. But baby am Madrid, me bobo wi anwumra na dwobe 8 o'clock ya pon be 10 a. It must tell us some better on some better museum.
Sister, you need the structure.
And I make us say, a structure na wo no. But structure no, me be say, baby what do no. As football clubs say Chelsea, omo won is okay. Why see the expectations? So far baby a wadu di enti edu baby an excuse the kakra na bia you hu say or call wrong pa na be dey ne yabam na say every single game bia be transfer church tactics in
say so no hu so a big change.
Very good. Now when who say ayi nyesa ne boss untimi nko pepe wonko kasa Thomas Tuchel wo no ne untimi nye you coaches ne bebre wo England even Eddie Howe kra menye so say Eddie Howe kra wo Newcastle no ko chache ne nsemu yeden
na kra mo twan ma de
but ono woni say nka ba bia wadu idi ye pon ya na wase afre no bia na yere kra afre no ne ma afre no na mo de ne show games ni bi wo kra ye mfa ne say Christmas dey say on bebo bia kopem be anadwo be 10 to 11 na owia masana na transfer be 1 na was ya church even while we ne lose nyina
bibia am say we no lose
nti I think say omunye fair kakra mfa ma no adwuma no be fire na me sure say na yemra na mra so yagu ma na yeye because I see the expectations there edu ba bia munja no kwa mo man nkofie na onja sa because I know ya akra so coaches na e ba say ya players no amokra woni say wonye big coach because you players no ma fa big coaches nsem no won say coach kura no say o ye bo wiade so okọ Paul mo na wako church won say bia church Paul na yam fa say bia Paul kra ne sa player ne din koma o say coach na obafo. And
again Mariska sees at this stage he's bigger than Paul Weston in the Lawrence was munyina. He's a bigger chain or more. Muna mudi adwuma ne maame. Muna munya mumujidie. But say more respect me. See, this arguments you are raising, I 100% I support it. But when say Nancy Bear from Enra and may share all the Chelsea platforms. Na me hear who they are supporting, whether they are in for the sporting directors or Enzo Maresca. But when say majority of the things that I've read and listened to the Chelsea supporters, no, don't wanna feel say at this stage allow Maresca to work. Me say don't wanna or Maresca half and almost supporting no. Yeah, one say press conference no we are omuchemu mienu. The embargo ne ballast and adjoa. Mother dana the sa last part of interview ne diaba. The last part of interview no. One so sa control shared to the sporting directors. Maresca. Say there. Nem come on odino press conference as indirectly na or fire omo. Obisan say Chelsea midfield options because before the press conference na story be about say Enzo akoka champion for so ope a central midfielder January way. That was before the press conference. Emana obi raise the question. Me crowd was like Chelsea what I said or Enzo or Romeo Lavia or Dario Isugu or Andre Santos. That's like 5. Rich James Timmy Ball 6. 2% central midfielder they are there. Press conference national. Centrally Baku Bisano. And I'll say, Chelsea central midfielders. Caicedo about 3 games without him. Utimi Bo and yes, say obobo ni ye, but obiti me ball because options be brain. Na midfielders, omunyina number 6, Echa number 8. Na Chelsea midfield no, Enzo Nkwa no only ni replacement. Menya sa quote na okan ye no. So this is the coach. Moi, referring to Moises Caicedo. Moi was there 3 games, in fact, was 3 games suspended. But there are players who have played a lot. At the moment, I don't think we have a natural replacement for Enzo. At the moment, we don't have a natural replacement for Enzo. We have adapted Andre Santos. But Andre is more of a number 6. Moises Caicedo's position than Enzo. Moises Caicedo is also playing a lot. Unfortunately, we have Romeo Lavia out and Dare Usuga out at the same time. In the Orion Commoner or didn't you now say Caicedo position number 6 no Romeo Lavia Timibo and first like Dare Usugo Timibo Andrew Santos no coach or Andrew Santos as a more of a number 6 than number 8. In the central midfielders na yato to the amani number 6 Enzo Nkwana number 8. Questioning the squad management of the sporting director. See, sporting director more players. More to the crow at the amano. Say number 6 of one kwan, number top Caicedo is 6, Romeo Lavia is 6, Dario Isugo is 6, Andre Santos is 6. Say James Kobeba about number 6 into Enzo Nkwan or Nini backup.
Timo must spend over 1.something billion.
He say no. Maresca the nice BB soon to say in some of your Ober can be pa
City for no no Master na dream na City for more you know.
And say no what question the squad
but just a Chelsea ma team Ketwa to say City J on pay coach.
Okay.
They say and one
can say they will see refer to City.
Oh that's Chelsea so Chelsea City.
Oh Chelsea to Chelsea.
Sir.
Yeah.
And Chelsea we are big. Some more say we are big. On Chelsea Omo big.
See, and the person in question to decision never matter. And the decision never matter. You bet me I a big all right. But the coach now as a nipa na ye didn't home come decided to because
on can be soon for unsuspended. I suspend you coach. Oma you know. Omo na kasa Thomas and Adwina.
Adwina could this
But say in the king.
Necessity of man freedom. Or no be bidding come be a pep ne tifi a befa for why day. A friend and
City so next coach a pep ne betcher.
And so pep ne betcher.
In the
pep you was touches out the best one of the best is the best coach. Now cry
say no yenim se pep nyame adoma season obe wi na so wi but the contract the best 2027. If pep ebe ko na se 2027 na no be kwa e bedru no na menya sure say Enzo Maresca a coach at the matches.
Yeah, kikako.
They are kikako. Okay, say 2 weeks ago say Carragher Ebeka say on what deep within Chelsea say Papa no
so season na umbejano ko.
I mean kind Carragher say 2 weeks on cross that time no. Na issues wey said anya sorry. Na just some no ehsha hofit. Anyway, but the Newcastle conversation it was say Chelsea for ehshe. My only fear is say Newcastle 40 fear the last 3 games now Chelsea. I don't know me fear. But the advantage Chelsea I want to say Newcastle are struggling. The last 10 games, 9 games out what was in your conceded goals. Our defense in you. And it is because of injuries. Spian Botsman with Pra, Danny Ben, Niyem, when your issues into Newcastle back 4 issues. And until the last game, almost small boy Luis Meli. Or say one coach in a bona basosa. The back 4 very, very bad. Livramento and ani susu game so Chelsea needs to take the advantage. I mean, Bobo Niamani be so fast. Okay. Who EPL table na for me na me kasa mcho. Yembonko bibia City lusu 4. And next so West Ham on temwa o lead league table no. Ansa na Arsenal abobo.
Well, so funny now. Arsenal points. The last time baby some Arsenal to me and church. Arsenal points now.
Arsenal winning 11
because Liverpool share and as a City share every year. Only lead table and Arsenal. But also almost say Arsenal win the matches by.
So what EPL experience, no? I'll give you one example. Like, idea back where we say usro, so many drawn games. 2019, Liverpool bought season in now ulusu one game against Manchester City. Laurel standing a share goal, no, assisted by Raheem Sterling. Game need there be a woman is minka me rain feed that. Ken Man City on J League no olusu 4. City a J League ni. Crystal Palace be share with fear. South season me rain feed. Chelsea share, Leicester City 4 share, Newcastle 4 share City. 4 games and the City lusu ye. Liverpool lusu baako pe. Ye wie che na City na J League win me the Liverpool draw mako 7. 7 drawn games. 7 drawn games and 21 points. Liverpool nyamu 7. And not to 14 points at Tuguye. I am giving you these examples to tell you, say, if you understand the dynamics of the English Premiership, so many drawn games does not help.
Okay.
Arsenal. Question I will be starting to make candidates to say the reason why a City for lose to be yet they are within range. They say Arsenal draw games be on fast so be any so to say the nano I'm gonna Sunderland boy you could draw against Everton. ASR games ni bia Everton mean so betimia bia on a one situation be on Besha Arsenal but ometimia pick a draw. Sa drawn games banana peel bini no Arsenal the last 3 games. Consider first goal. Away. Their last 3 away games. Or consider first goal. Either so belusu. Once an answer so akwa draw. It's Everton game. They are tricky. That is why I make us say.
Everton are share United Old Trafford.
Pacho and Pacho unkewe. Then against Level.
I'm about United.
It's one of those tricky. But Barcelona Villarreal, interesting game. Barca, the best scoring team. Villarreal for my consider just 30. Me pamcho Villarreal for na dey back one phone can say almost 2 outstanding games so. So almost 2 outstanding games now. Barca try almost 2 points pe.
Villarreal.
Hey. Ngofo no almost san Champions League almost win back no Copenhagen be show mo. But in the league, we consider 13 goals in 15 games on consider goals.
Yes, Barca careful.
As a Sabasa, you're extremely careful. Ceramic award this season on Lusu game with you. And as Uncle for Sabasa, a man for Fona Shauma, no we know 2 outstanding games, or makes me about Badasro.
Well,
it's Marcelino, no low key.
Oh,
you man here or Bobby pa, but that's why Barca needs to be extremely careful.
Well,
counter attacks.
Nicolas Pepe, Money, Thomas Partey.
Partey, and you're likely so.
Well, Biggie, Brahma na yenim komo kakra na memeto aso frio.
Kenam. Oh yeah, story be na me sha se dey free on man sana ma be matches ni bi. Chelsea player if any say Joshua Champion. Say Bayern Munich here Brantie no. Na Chelsea team no enye ready to mbema akwada na ko. I thought they had dreams will be who a young player or man opportunity. No better to your team. Say baby, all Baba do the on your show team no betimi abobiem. Or pursue free team no, especially when team ni here kwadano. Some man opportunity a man abo because they believe he's one of the future talents on Baba Bobo Boko. It's in Quebec sa kwara na betena Chelsea. No opportunity na Chelsea the man no. Ono nso betu ya Chelsea ka. But no kure wo mne say move a bebo akwara na owi ase pass isi a the Bayern Munich move at the expense of staying at Chelsea.
I didn't say.
Me kasa because to say first of all Chelsea bobo ko na akwara na wo mu no. Akwara na nye oni an automatic spot for Chelsea. Central defenders we were Chelsea only almost compete. He's a young player, a bit inexperienced. Injuries in the back Chelsea bobo ko na fa. And omo hu say yema wakwanya na bra na be bobi. And akwara na be boy no. Obo ne homodin obi hu say akasifo we mpo ni wa akwada keto we wo hono mo a obetumi aba be giram no wasi akan de amayen. Ti say wa hwe Chelsea bobo ko na. For fun aye fit na obaye no. Season ne chance Chelsea best player na ye wan center backs na ye Trevor Chalobah. For fun a beka ne ho no. Joshua Champo come back to the bench. Into for fun and Chalobah na ebo. Akwada ni nya bi mo. Levi Crowell ba oya fit na oba beka ho a e possible say Chaloba mpo and to be free starting 11 ni ma ba bench na Levi Crowell ne for fan aba bebo nti akwara na ye di ne ho nkomo no obeba ba be ye either a be a third and as a fourth option fourth and kankan and obeba ba be ye when it comes to the Chelsea centre backs role it is so benya bi abono e be ye den dia ma no so what na Chelsea bo boko no ma do Chelsea here no because someone who saw what talent na e bere bi be bo Chelsea bo boko no nti wo se keep no but Bayern Munich bo boko no ade ba ko a e depa ne se coach be kasa akwada we mepe no. First of all, company na so hia akwada no. That is number 1. Number 2, company ni nso ye coach a wa kire se o ya akwada na onim bo be mo akonya. Hwe obi ti sale Natka, 17-year-old player. Coach na man akonya ene. Akwada na bo open one of the best footballers we ase akwada na ka ho. Just say ebia baby osi akan no. And I only need to certain players or more Premier League mu, La Liga mu no mo ya young. Almost so ba enye ye. But the coach is giving the young man the opportunity and he keeps playing. Aside eno, Bayern Munich central defense na ye hwan Dayo Upamecano, Jonathan Tah. Upamecano nye this season na nka Bayern kwampo kan contract wo mu ni extension ho nkomo. Because na nye. But player your friend say Jonathan Tah be kan ho with the experience. This season the money peja. And no na ama Bayern ni di contract extension ho nkomo. But nkomo no mu di ni nyina no, it looks like akwala na ye reluctant or demand this car Bayern into ya. And a Bayern ni ready to obetua. E di se kokko basa e possible to be free boboko ni mako. Okwa tokro that the center back position ho. Akwara e friend say Josh Champion. Boy hu so obo Premier League ni mu no. Owura mu Bayern Munich team ni mu. No mo mana kwanya. Obetimi abo abo ni ye. Aside that, Bundesliga ni mu adane a factory. I the manufacture quality English talents. Into England nkwada no. And almost to England name we are de no munya bi mo a. Okọ Bundesliga ni mpe. No in the next season. Ebinum de mpo nuro, ebi de month. No ma be big boys. Mami for bi ti sa Ademola Lookman. Osi akama Nigeria no kre. But he was an English boy. In England na onya bi mo. And okọ Germany. Baby ye ko hu sa Ademola Lookman the player given the opportunity obetimi aboniye loan no komo RB Leipzig. That was the turning point for Ademola Lookman. Yinisi nchen, hwe Jude Bellingham. Today, okọ Borussia Dortmund, quality okọ dine and ewiase nyina up one of the best midfielders in the world, Jude. Hwe Jamie Gettins free England now okọ Dortmund no. And Chelsea di sika kesi asa akọfa na ba. England ho no mo abiem. So omra mesi akan. Uhwe we mu nyina obeka se bia ya attackers. Yempe defender ba ko na ye ni ho nkomo hwe Jaro Kwanza. This season in the Bundesliga, one of the best center backs consistently. The Biogilema by Leverkusen obo key figure. Ewo ho anu ma obo. Inti akwada ne hwe sa niema we nyina. It is the best or right decision for the player. Menka se oja Chelsea ho na ye me de. But me hwe akwada ni interest and in growth and me feel that this move would be a better move for the young man than Robertson Chelsea Bobo.
I didn't my English boys and Crano or prefer some Germany, chance some Spain, Italy.
Premier League ni more danger in Bundesliga no. E more danger pa. I think Bundesliga ni baby.
And Haaland na yensan.
Oh yes.
Sa Haaland wo Germany
no.
No she goes to say the no sheni.
Ah no shepa.
No shepa but how do you say I am remember?
Yes.
How do you remember?
Yes. And I say
obesa she go kura.
When age. When age e wo Bundesliga ni mo a. Oba Premier League ni mfie ni bia beka ho. So indirectly what it means is the experience wo bo mu to bia beka ho. And I wanya a coach or ya top chair a lot of the managers and as a managers are no my adwuma or Dortmund. And also so no ho adwuma de aka ho. Eti Bundesliga no compared to the Premier League, we Haaland no more exception if you are ken. A Tottenham players or more established. Our Bundesliga ni no. Omo ba England omo ntimi mo. Na nse ya hu hwe klase hu Florian Wirtz. A oba emfa or the Taria na why. He came from the Bundesliga as a big boy. It's England nkwada no. So uti England na unya bi mo a. Bundesliga clubs dey for with talent ne dey omo obi. So omo so be ba fa no more opportunity no. And because that league a bit weaker compared to the Premier League inti. Ya more opportunity no mo timi bo. And aside that, ebia England now na unya bi mo. But yeah, more opportunity more bodebia and constant practice brings out the best in you because debia obono now polish mistakes. Now Baba be a better player. And I feel that this would be a move a boakwada a friend or Joshua Champon. Moving away from Chelsea to the Bundesliga would be the ideal place and best destination for the young man. I bet me I bring out the best in the player. Ken Everton ne Arsenal bo bokono baba bishia. Now heard these two teams Premier League no. Now you bisa will say why necessary winning? I am sure say a lot of the people who do football you know call for Arsenal. Say straight away as I say Arsenal for the 3 maximum points. Looking at the consistency of the Arsenal team, looking at the kind of quality Arsenal Bobo Nikita, no doubt some of your favorites in this particular encounter. But one thing about football, I say, you can't take away history and statistics. Arsenal Bobo Kono, this season, it is not as if say you won't be that, you won't be paying. For the past 3 seasons, and only this season account. Until last season, they were one of the best teams in the English Premier League, and until Nomudi second. No. Everton, on the other hand, also had a very bad season last season. Anko Yekra. But can only say last season, Everton Anko Yeni in Echi. Home and away Arsenal to me and share Everton. No more born in yet. No more forming in yet. But ball on born will Goodison Park. Any game on born will Emirates. It would be any one of my Arsenal Bobo Kono. It me share Everton. On mobile 1-1 will Goodison Park. And on mobile 0-0 and so our Emirates. Into clearly having a chunk of the players available. Any ball on mobile this time around, no. And found say Arsenal Bobo Kono quality. Na Premier League no petit more that's right Arsenal Bobo Kono. Everton players since were the Omo team. So last season na performance in Nimpono. Omo ntimi an share not this season a year. This season a year because so far Premier League na year bono. Ken Omo na 9th. So they are going to bring in some sort of confidence and so. But all these two managers Omo handle teams now. Mikel Arteta, David Moyes. About the English Premier League, now you have a manager who experience part there. Between the two, it should be David Moyes. No doubt about it. But at the back, also, woman say, only Arteta meetings, on Timmy Arteta. Omumi no share 11 times. 11 meetings, no Mumi no. David Moyes said, we need 2 pay. 3 are ending in a draw. And Arteta winning my 6. At the end, found said this time around, the team knew what that kind of spark. Almost pick it. Now performance of David Moyes' team any Everton, better compared to last season. No, Arteta was the upper hand because we share David Moyes our tabono. It's another day. According to Arteta, Bobo no. Problem back Everton was a certain key players in your squad anymore. One of the best players this season, I remember show Premier League anymore. Liman Ndiaye. Liman Ndiaye is now available on the flank for Everton Bobo no because our African Cup of Nations with Senegal. Idris Agana again and also now available because also African Cup of Nations with Nigeria. It's in clearly 2 key men. We didn't feel them Everton Bobo no absent, missing. If your Basha creating some sort of void and so about between film. Can this be all? The last 4 or 5 matches, Everton Bobo Kuna Bono. Open one of the most informed players for Everton. But the last game they played against Chelsea at the early stages of the game, and Akwadani Koko prior into this game on also available. It will midfield 4. Emu 3. The only player bet they never rested on the shoulders and it gives the Arsenal team that leeway. And so team in also move to me a picket. Na near Arsenal Bobo. Problem back with the Arsenal setup. And saw number 9 department, Victor Gyökeres. Goals didn't shut down to say as expected. But the last game, Arsenal Bobo boy, you Gabriel Jesus, no so better quality when he got the opportunity. And clearly, there are certain members in the Arsenal fold, quality or match, actually given the opportunity, they can play and play well. And the unfound said David Moyes man and the ball Muhammad. Now more than money was thrown. Me feel that the performance and quality of the Arsenal team are exhibited this season and so English Premier League, as I say, a more advantage over an Everton team again. It looks a bit depleted and so and I'll go for a double chance for Arsenal in this particular encounter. Manchester United ne Aston Villa no. O she game ni din na akwa EBB ho. Aston Villa pick form to say saying kwampo. Ken say de kwa me kan na aya na untimi Manchester United. But adia bako any problem bako. Me hu Manchester United bobo ko no ho and say Manchester United Bobo the defense is very weak. Only Watkins, our striker, the Aston Villa Bobo this season, on picking the right form. But there are other players who must support him team behind him. Ono na nya good day krampona player friend say Yuri Tielemans. Honum with a lot of quality. The Manchester United back line too much inexperience. And Mantiam and Salah mobile centre back Zima Manchester United no. Obi or United game against Bournemouth Bia. And how the inexperience of these centre backs cost the Manchester United. Lenny Euro, Aiden Heaven. These are good players. But Nipo come who look sure. I just controlling the back line of Manchester United when the experience and again. On soon to me first I experience and on board. Enti ushia teama eye free scoring team ushia teama omo money was throw let us say Aston Villa me feel that this is the right time omo yire omo betimi anya good results in this game against Manchester United. The last 11 matches in the Premier League who team what form power Premier League ni Aston Villa. The last 11 matches EPO ni mo no we winning makoma 10 and we losing just 1. If you are talking about momentum, they have gathered the right momentum at this time to play a teamer or Tarbon or Ayana on team in share. Any quality I want to forward in the day. I am looking at the experience of Unai Emery. So this time around, or the best Sanema, Nanyama Konkana, Sanema Danny, and so the Ama Aston Villa Bobokono, and found Manchester United dominance over here Aston Villa. Me feel that this is the right time, the best opportunity for them. Almost central defense, Paul Torres in Europe, but it is going to be a blessing in disguise for Aston Villa because player Ben is stepping in a former Manchester United player Lindelof and Ken Minu Mianunim players some show former clubs are a thought that person just because they want their names to be mentioned.
Lindelof.
Yes. Only player bia and the Abacope. Name the fact that all against the former club. I am Manchester United in Kuano.
I'm a more good coach.
An experienced manager.
A very, very good coach.
Very good manager. And they have quality. Omo midfielder no. Boubacar Kamara and Amadou Onana. 2 quality defensive midfielders. And that's base of a midfielder no. Able to me and destroy any kind of team midfielder Mubeshia. Me feel say it is going to be a difficult game for Manchester United. Looking at the former Aston Villa no, a double chance for them. Ken Kakebi on Real Madrid. Madrid be bought their trickiest game of the season and against Bobo friend is Sevilla. So we have Sevilla a performance. Now the Tottenham Madrid who are clearly Real Madrid your favorite but Sevilla was quite a total of us about certain games. Tough teams are about this season. Atletico Madrid they are but against Barcelona they won convincingly. Into clearly. Say me against Barcelona, against them GDA, 7 years against Real Madrid. Madrid, it is true. But Russia Spanish La Liga anymore. The last 6 matches are Real Madrid double league munoken we need to pay. The last 6 matches our La Liga anymore. Madrid has won only 2. It's ultimately so convinced. Say Real Madrid in the looking at the recent poor form of Real Madrid, our Spanish La Liga anymore. Player back one me expect coach so be man opportunity because me gidi so bet me the difference make Real Madrid Rodrigo. Meaning say Kylian Mbappe the leader of the pack. That is true. But what should Real Madrid that the last 2 starts are Rodrigo enya for Madrid no. Ni na wache go. It's the poor starter at the buy at the start of the season. And then I'm saying the last 2 starts are when you know what you go. Clearly, or better person or better with that kind of form. Now, it won't be an easy game for Real Madrid, but probably a double chance there. Me expect Madrid to be losing game now. Okay. Very tricky. And Meko with a double chance for Real Madrid Bobo.
Okay, double chance here Madrid and a big best chance here. Now, my family booking course no and more say gala no games no Barca and the group games. Group stages games no and Barca and intimacy 5 p.m. and 5 and Shasi and number 5 enti opama na do nia chabepo junction hope na also no wako boss e bia so betimi kama ene so amene atonsu patase ene moizongo e mo research so ene ade beba ene boakwa ene asawase enti California yi bebre free mo bebre ekofie mamenje course no na member sisia na member kwekwan bi member sisia na
okay. Ebsa for an course no any code number 1. Weekendy Yampeka Cramfan to your bottom way. BW2 AF2 A243 BW2 AF2 A243 code number 2 BW2 AF3 6A3C, BW2, AF3, 6A3C, code number 3, BW2, AF3, 8A15, BW2, AF3, 8A15, code number 4, BW2, AF3, BCD4, BW2, AF3, BCD4, code number 5, BW2, AF4, 4726, BW2, AF4, 4726, last code, triple your money, 3 odds, BW2, AF3, FB83, BW2, AF3, FB83.